Dude, I had Joey LaRocca on the other day, and we talked for 5 full minutes about his name before we did it, and I still did it wrong because I was thinking LaRocca because that's what and he's like, no, it's actually LaRocca, but I call it LaRocca, and then I sure as hell went Joey LaRocca, and then when I was editing it, I realized it, and I was like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the Punk Rock Review Podcast. I got a special guest today. This is Ian Wise from a band called Lost Legion out of Chicago, Illinois. So what's up, buddy? How you doing today, Ian?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
Hell yeah. Nice, dude. I'm doing great, man. I guess I don't know. I have 3 kids, and I picked up my little guy the other day, and I gave myself a, what do you call it? Where you tear your stomach lining?
I have no idea.
Hernia. A freaking hernia, dude. Yeah, bro. I gotta go to the doctor tomorrow and get it checked out. I can feel like I feel things I shouldn't be able to feel by pressing my hand on my stomach. It's crazy. But that aside, I'm doing pretty great. I'm going to Las Vegas in 2 weeks, and I got like 4 records fixing to drop on my label like in the next like 4 or 5 weeks. So I got a lot going on right now, but I'm good, man.
Cool.
So Chicago, huh? There's a lot of good music coming out of Chicago right now. I guess you guys are probably playing a lot of shows with local bands. Do you play with CMI at all, or do you know those guys?
Yeah, I know Adam from CMI. Man, Lost Legion doesn't play that much, and CMI doesn't play in Chicago that much. Also,
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, like they've played Chicago, I think twice or 3 times. I've seen them in Chicago twice. I wasn't at one of their shows. So yeah, I mean they and like we've actually never even played in Chicago.
Oh wow.
We've only played one show. We only played in Gary, Indiana.
Okay. So you've only played live once.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. So the whole idea of doing this show with people is to get to know the bands, because I think people on the other end of the screen might have this like misconception that I already know everybody that I'm talking to.
Sure.
And I'm like, no, man, this is like for both of us, me and the audience. I want to get to know these people just because it's a community that I've been a part of my whole life. And, you know, we didn't have the advantages of the internet back in the day. So it's pretty cool to be able to meet people this way. And then if you come through my city or somewhere in Texas and I get to go hang out, then it's like we already met once. I can say hello, and it's not some weird, awkward exchange. I didn't even think about the fact that CMI has only played a handful of shows, period. They've only been around a little while. They're like the new hot shit right now.
Right.
That's got to feel weird, man. Like it was.
Doesn't feel weird for me at all. I think that, I mean, like Adam's like doing good shit. I mean, it's cool that band is blowing up, you know. He works hard. It's like rad to see him pull in on something that he's like actually putting work into, you know.
I don't know if you know who Bullshit Detector or Liberty and Justice is, but those are all...
I know those. Yeah, like I just saw Bullshit Detector. But yeah, I've seen Liberty and Justice. They were supposed to play Chicago in November, but they're not coming up for it. But I've seen them a couple times. They've been up.
I wonder why. Yeah, those are all buddies of mine. Like I've known those guys all 20 years. Like I'm actually the next 2 of my 4 releases are BSD releases. So
cool.
I'm redoing their full length on cassette, and then I got a 2-song single that I did. And this is like a test print of a shirt that's exclusive for the label. So man, I love just. It's so strange, man. I went a long time without being involved in music because I was cleaning my life up. I started having kids and things, and it's pretty nice to get back into the mix of things, man. It was really kind of a depressing thing to stay away from it.
Sure.
So as far as only playing one show, how come you have only played one show thus far? Because I was looking at your music. Y'all have got music from a couple of years ago, right? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, I mean, we started in like 2015. Okay. But it was literally just we practiced one time. The first demo that we did was the first time that we hung out and jammed.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like we just, and then like Dave, who's the drummer, who was gonna hang out for this and just he wasn't able to. He stays downstairs for me right now. The day we met was the day that was recorded.
Yo, that's awesome.
Yeah, we had a mutual friend. We wanted to do something that sounded like the Templars, and it was like we hung out, like me and this guy Griff hung out a couple times and like just played guitar, you know?
Yeah.
Then like nothing really came of it. We just like had an idea of what we wanted it to sound like. And then we just like walked to our friend's basement and recorded that demo that day.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it was never anything that we thought of as like, we're going to start a band. It was like literally just hanging out, you know?
Okay.
And then the second demo was kind of similar. It was just like built up in a different way. Griff recorded it with a drummer out in Colorado because he moved out there. So he like did the same thing. He just like hung out with this guy and like jammed out some like riffs that we had written together. And then he sent it to me and I like built the stuff on top of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just like kind of the band is just like us hanging out, you know? It wasn't ever looked at as like a thing that's like, we're going to play live, we're going to tour, we're going to like try to do records and like whatever. It's just like we want to hang out playing music sometimes more than we want to. It's like other people go fishing, you know what I mean? Or like play pickup basketball. It's just like we go to the space and we like hang out and fucking write songs. And sometimes we like the songs, you know?
That is probably the whole, like the most original and like I've never heard that before, but it's like, but it makes sense to me. Like as soon as you said it, I was like, I mean, that sounds like the least amount of stress you could possibly have in being in a band is exactly what you just described. So, because I mean, I heard you guys' music a couple of times over the last couple of years. I said that all messed up. I heard you guys' music. I had no idea that y'all weren't like I just never really thought about it because I wasn't going to shows 2 years ago. It was COVID. Sure. Nobody was.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have been playing 2 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just assumed that you guys were like doing shows, touring, and putting out records. That's wild. So do you guys have any kind of goals with what you're doing, or is it gonna try? Are you trying to keep it as lax as possible because your name is out there a little bit?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's like it's good to have goals with whatever you're doing, but like, dude, I don't know. My kid fucking turned 17 a couple days ago. Oh, so nice. Like, I'm kind of at a point in my life where it's just like, that's been my goal for a long time is like financially doing that, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just, I've never thought about music as a goal. And I don't think that I'm like equipped at this point in my life to like think about music as a goal. You know what I mean?
I mean, one of the best things about, I didn't mean to cut you off. One of the best things about it right now is that, and this has come up like probably 3 out of the last 5 people that I've spoken with, is this exact topic has come up. Right now is the best time in the history of humans that you could want to do some kind of music stuff, not have to tour, have to play very minimal live shows, and still be able to make a little bit of money to at least fund what you're doing. Because if you do it if you press a record or a tape, you can sell that. If you make good enough music and you stream it and you just do enough social media stuff, you can make money off of that. If you get somebody like me that has your name in their head, I can reach out and talk to you a little bit. It's all little drops in the bucket.
Yeah,
but it is possible now where it wasn't like 10 years ago. It wasn't even possible.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, I don't know. We don't make any money.
Sure.
Like, we don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I've never even thought about things in terms of like selling stuff. It's cool that like, dude, Mendeku, like getting in touch and wanting to do our demo on a 7-inch, like fucking blew my mind, you know?
Okay.
That's
cool too, though.
No, I mean, that's like awesome that somebody.
No, I meant that you don't even think about it. I respect that because, well, no, I mean, it makes sense because, you know, your goals are different as if, you know, as in like you don't really have a lot of monetary goals with the band. Your goals are have a good time, right? So,
right. And I like to see stuff finished, you know, so like I like to have a record, but like the 10-inch that we did on Long Shot, and we did it because Mike from Long Shot was like, hey man, I get that you're doing this band that's just you, and I think I can sell 100 copies of this, because he understood the deal of like, we're not going to fucking tour on this.
Yeah.
He was into a couple demos that I sent him, and he was just like, yeah, I'll fucking put that on a record, whatever. But we did 150 copies of it. It was not to like keep it limited. It was like, we thought that we would only sell 150 copies of it because it was just because nobody would care, because we don't play shows and we don't do that, you know.
It's wild. People want, like, me personally, so I'm down here in Houston, man. I'm far from everybody, dude. So like, if you're not playing shows, even if you are, it doesn't really affect me much. So I'm the customer base for that. I'm the guy that goes, well, I like the songs. I'd like to have it on a physical copy. If you got one available, I'll take it. So that makes a lot of sense to me, man. Dude, this is probably the most interesting, like, vantage point for a band that I've thought of and talked to anybody in. That's really cool, because in the event that something pops off, it's just like a bonus on a bonus. It's like, oh, that's cool, sweet. And so if you ever have something that affords you the ability to now go in and make a full-length album because you have the money from this other stream you didn't know you're going to have the money from, and that makes it, I don't know. I own like 2 different small businesses, so I'm always thinking in terms of like, how can I create revenue from what I'm doing so that I can continue to do what I'm doing. I'm not necessarily thinking much different than you. I'm just thinking like, okay, I want to keep doing what I like to do, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to make a little bit of money. But and it's so people, man, when I talk to, so I bartend a little bit to make sure I have my money, and they'll be like, so what do you do in your spare time? And I'm like, oh, I do merch. I got a little label. I do YouTube, and I got a little record shop. Oh, you must be doing well. Are you working here? I'm like, you think if I made $1 million, I'd be working here? No, man. All that stuff is fun to do. That comes at a cost. When you have something that you love doing, it oftentimes comes at a cost of actual dollars. Like it, and so I do a little of that on the side, make sure I can keep having fun every weekend and go to my record shop. It's a 2-day-a-week thing. I just hang out up there. It's awesome. But yeah, dude, it's pretty cool to not, it's so strange to not have the I don't know. I don't have to go to some Monday through Friday thing. I really like that, but it gets a little stressful. That's awesome though, man. So is it currently just you doing everything, or do you have some guys that you actually jamming out with? You have a whole group of people, like a whole band set up, or is it just you and a buddy?
Like Dave, who plays drums, who's downstairs. So like we live in Chicago and we have a 2-flat building. So it's a Midwest thing. So like I have like an apartment upstairs and he has an apartment downstairs, but it's like one building. So it's like easy to,
it's like a quadplex down here. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and then we have a space where we practice, which is like 15 minutes away.
Dope.
But yeah, it's like it's been just the 2 of us for the longest time.
Well, that's so easy though. I like it, bro.
Yeah, it's like it's very efficient, But we started playing, or we played one show a couple months ago. That was like our first time playing live, so we had to put together a lineup with, like, we had to get guitar players and a bass player, like Kyle, who played bass on the 10-inch, played bass for us, and we got a couple guys to play guitar for us, Dylan and Brian, who were like, so like we had to put together like a lineup and play. So we have been, like, we practiced for that show. We have a couple of shows coming up that we're practicing for. So like right now we're kind of operating as like a band in terms of like 5 people hanging out playing music together. But that's literally like within the last 2.5 months, compared to like 8 years of like the band doing things other ways.
That's cool though, man. So it's the fact that you have the ability to operate either way is pretty nice too, because you can just get in with your bud and start. He can jump on the kit. You can get a guitar, or do you play guitar and bass?
It depends on what we're doing. I usually in Lost Legion, I've just been doing guitar.
Yeah, so you could just grab your guitar and start hammering out riffs, come up with a little song, and boom, it's just the 2 of you guys. And then at that point, I will say this: I've written enough music with groups of people to know that sometimes that gets to be, I don't want to say argumentative, but I kind of mean argumentative, man. People will start bickering back and forth, and I don't like this. But if you're just like 2 dudes, you're like, hey, you like it? Oh, yeah, you do? Okay, good. Then at that point, you're just teaching somebody else like the stuff that y'all wrote. That's kind of nice.
Dude, so like during COVID, I saved up like money specifically for a recording unit where I could record 16 tracks at once. So I could like we can go to our recording space, and if there's like, we have a big we're in a big warehouse, so there's other bands practicing there. But like, if we go there early on a Saturday, we can set up mic drums or drum mics. And sorry, I'm stoned. Drum mics, and then we can just set up drum mics and guitar, and we can literally record,
just hammer out some songs.
There. So like we've done that. Like, dude, we have not done this with Lost Legion because it gets a little bit more complicated than this. But like, we did a band called Citadel with my friend Nick, who's from London. I've known him for a long time. My friend, he's from London, but he's married to a girl from Humboldt Park in Chicago, which is like just north of us. He comes over here once a year and hangs out for like a week. And one day we were just like, let's just fucking hang out and like see if we can fucking jam. And we set up the recording equipment and we did a 7-inch that day. That was like, it ended up being really fucking good. And it was like it's the only thing I can say that it was like really good, because it was legitimately the most fun I've ever had playing music.
Dude, and what was it called?
Sit It Out. It came out as
sit it out out of bounds, like sit it out.
No, it's so Mateus, he plays guitar in Forza Bruta, if you know that band.
Okay.
He did vocals on it. He's from Brazil, so the vocals are in Portuguese. So it's
nice.
Yeah, it's a Portuguese word. It means citizen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Cidadao, and the A has like
Citadel. Got you. Okay, yeah, I was just hearing it wrong. Okay, yeah. Is that, dude? I have got to hear that. Is there any way I can hear that?
Yeah, it's on BANDCAMP. It came out as a 7-inch on.
I'll be checking that out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right up my alley, bro. I want to hear that. I'm probably gonna want to find a 7-inch somehow. That's cool, man. I get a lot of foreign music, a lot of French stuff, especially the last couple of years.
France in the past couple of years has been kind of wild. But like, dude, French Oi in the 80s was like sick. It was like the best Oi scene.
So I'm a street punk kid, always have been. As I've gotten older, I've been leaning more into the Oi and hardcore crossover stuff.
Sure.
I did a video like this with Adam. Actually, he was the one that popped off my channel real well. I owe that dude a massive thank you. But I was talking about how as I got older, the lyrical content from Oi, because they sound really similar, just like sonically.
Sure.
But the lyrical content was starting to like bleed over into where it really mattered to me what they were saying. And so I'm still discovering like old Oi stuff. I'm never probably gonna ever be somebody that I would consider myself a skinhead. I think that would be very fake of me. But I do appreciate the music and I love it. I've got a lot of it.
I appreciate that about you.
Oh, dude, I would feel so lame if I suddenly started wearing the gear and like shaving my head. Like if I shave my head, it's going to be because my hair got so thin that I had to. It's not because I want to fake the funk and be. I go to Oi shows all the time. I'm friends with all the dudes in Liberty and Justice. I'm friends with all the dudes in Bullshit Detector. Like you don't have to be. Like you don't have to pretend, man. Just go and do your thing, bro. Like
well, it's also like, man, it's like hard to be one of those people that's kind of gatekeepy about certain things, but like, because I don't care what anybody else is doing, and like everybody's on their own fucking life journey, whatever, that's fine. But with the skinhead thing, it's like, dude, I've been a skinhead since I was 14, so it's very different with me because I like got raised in like a cult, and it sounds so fucking snobby to say that, like, oh, because you got into it when you were younger, you like have this authority over other people.
It's not
like,
authority, but
it's like I do though, because when my thing is like when I was 16, man, like, dude, neo-Nazis tried to kill me, like legitimately, like showed up at my fucking parents' house. And when I was a teenager, like I was booking shows at a DIY club in my hometown, and I booked like Terminus City and like was booking anti-fascist Oi bands, and neo-Nazis showed up at the fucking club and beat up the club owner. Like, what? And I was a kid, man. And these guys were like, I'm not even 40 now. These guys were like 40 plus, like had been in prison, you know? And like, to me, that was like my time in my life to be like that accustomed to that kind of violence. And like, dude, like I have seen fucked up things happen to people, and like it happened when I was young, and like that's not like I mean, all of us have. Like, everybody's been through fucking seen violence and trauma and shit.
Well, especially within this group of people. We're talking like you and I, being from punk rock backgrounds and skinhead backgrounds. That's a very similar community, man. And there's a lot of rough going on in that, especially when you're young. You're out there on your drinking at young ages, fighting all the time.
Right. And my thing is, like, when you were young, it like became this thing that first off was like imprinted on you as a person. You know, so it like still affects you how you are now, but it also became something that like you were accustomed to, and like you had to like make decisions in the moment that affected you for forever. And it's not like coming in at 40 years old and being able to like, oh, well, now I'm like a cool Oi guy. And I never had to go through like actually having trouble with the police or like all of these things that go along with it, you know?
So there's two things about that. One, I totally understand why you would say that you appreciated that I said that, because the reason that I said that is because I would be really pissed off if some 38-year-old dude suddenly told me that his favorite band was The Unseen and he's going to go see Rancid tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, you know, and like, so the things that you're feeling, I feel the exact same way about people like MGK, you know what I'm saying? And like, whatever, dude, the guy, do what he wants to do. I don't care. But like, and there is a certain amount of appreciation for him being like a gateway artist for kids that like, that are young.
Yeah.
But it's still, people can say whatever they want about gatekeepers, but I was just talking to somebody today about this on YouTube, because they were like, it's all about the music and only the music and blah, 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 blah. I said, well, maybe. I said, but there's a lot of us that have put in like years, dude, like decades. And we've put in literal blood, sweat, and tears, our time, our money. And I was like, so there's a little bit of, you got to give us a little bit. Like we have the ability to be gatekeepery a little bit. And I understand the term is negative, but
well,
it also shouldn't be thought of as negative.
It's not in terms of like, dude, I don't fucking, a lot of like my friends on the more metal side have gotten into like the new Oi music, because like Beton Armée, especially through like Battle Ruins and that scene, like have kind of gotten infiltrated the metal scene a little bit, you know. And I have no problem with that. That's cool to me, because that to me is like kind of validating. My problem is that only when it becomes somebody that's like, oh, I heard Oi music and so now I'm going to like make this my personality.
Right.
You know, and it's like, because you're going to get into what you're into no matter what. And like, all that shows is like, you still have good taste, you know,
and
like
that's
there's
exactly
nothing wrong
why
with that. Everybody should be into whatever music they're into. It's like the more personality thing of just like over the age of 35, I'm going to be like, I am now calling myself a skinhead, which is an immature decision that you only make when you're immature and a fucking kid, and you got to stick with it forever. You know what I mean?
I mean, I didn't decide I was going to be a punk kid. I was a punk kid, and then I found punk rock. Like, it wasn't a decision for me. I was the kid that was always in trouble. I was the one getting kicked out of class. I was the one getting jumped and in trouble, and I fought a bunch of people, and I heard, like, the way that I even got into punk rock was so crazy. It was so obviously meant for me. Like, I went to Dallas to see a show. I went to go see Lollapalooza in 1996. And I still have the t-shirt right now. Dude, I lost everything in Hurricane Harvey except that shirt. It's a Rancid and Out Come the Wolves 96 tour shirt. I went there as a fan of Metallica, wearing a Metallica shirt. I heard Rancid one time and was like, oh, no, never mind. That's my stuff right there. I literally bought the Rancid shirt, never looked back. And so, like, I was already headed that direction. I just didn't realize it. And so when I got there.
But, like, what, can I ask you a question, man?
Yeah.
How old were you when you did that? When you saw that?
14.
So what was the core difference between Metallica and Rancid?
It was a feeling that I got. And it's like, when I hear Metallica, I think like, yeah, dude, this sounds badass.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I heard Rancid, I was like, oh, damn, they're talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
That was the difference. It was like, do I still listen to Metallica even right now? Of course I do. It's Metallica, dude. Like, come on, man. Let's not be assholes. You know, I personally like to go with the first four. And then after that, I don't really care. But I still like that music.
Sure.
But when I heard Rancid, they're like storytelling, and I'm like, oh my goodness, they're talking about me and my friends. They're talking about something I've dealt with. And so, and then also, I'm not going to act like it wasn't an aesthetic thing, dude. I was like, dude, mohawks and tattoos, I'm way into that. That's way cooler to me than like I don't know, long hair. I've never been a long hair guy. So like, you know, I just thought it looked rad, and you know, and it didn't stop, dude. I mean, this is my second time doing a label. This is my like 30-something year going to shows, or not 30th, this 20, like all coming up on 30 years going to live shows. Like, you don't do that unless you're a lifer. Like I left for 7 years to clean up my life and get sober, and look at me now, I'm right back in the mix doing it again. Like it's so yeah, it wasn't a choice, man. I just saw it and was like, oh, I felt like the right thing to do. And I stayed and watched Metallica. I'm not going to act like I didn't. I watched Soundgarden, Metallica, the Melvins. I got to see the Ramones that day before they were all dying.
Dude, that's like an amazing show.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So it was,
and that had to be 96. That's the Ramones' last tour.
Yeah, dude.
That's
and it's crazy because at that time I didn't even realize what I was watching. Like I've got very few memories from the Ramones. I got some memories because I mean, who didn't know Blitzkrieg Bop, right? So I've got memories from back then of them playing, but it's like, you know, it just felt different. And I back then festivals weren't what they are now, where now it's like 500 bands and they all play for 20 minutes. No, dude, this was like 15 bands, 2 stages, and everybody played a full set. Rancid played for 45 minutes in 96, dude. That's like half their discography back then. Soundgarden played for an hour. Metallica, I couldn't tell you how long they played, bro. They played, I don't remember being disappointed because there wasn't any songs missing.
Yeah.
And this is right when Load came out. So it was like Black Album and everything before that. And they played all the good songs, dude. It was awesome. I didn't really know who the Melvins were, but I've always remembered that show because they were so weird back then. But it was a lot of fun, man. But yeah, I was going to be into some kind of live music no matter what. It's the scene of punk rock just spoke to me because it's a DIY thing and it's really involved. Like the metal scene, there's a few people that are really involved, and then it's everybody goes to the shows.
Yeah.
And punk and hardcore and oi, those are all very closely knit anyway. So you're going to have a lot of crossover. But it's like the scene is what puts on the shows. So the scene goes to the shows. They play the shows. They hang out after the shows. That's why you have stuff like crews and stuff. Like it's all, everybody is involved. It like, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, that's exactly what Adam was talking in their first show in Texas was Houston. And I went and I filmed the whole thing. And at one point he says, you know, you're out here, you got to be here, man. And he said, if you're not here, you're not missed. And it just struck a chord with me. I was like, bro, this dude knows what's up, man. He's been around, I guess, because that makes sense to me. If you're not here, you're not missed because you got to be here. You can't be a punk rock kid from your desk. You just can't. And all these kids talking about Blink-182 and Green Day, while good bands, they don't know what they're talking about. Dude, this kid the other day, he told me, he goes, I did a review on that new Blink-182 song.
I haven't heard it.
It's okay. Objectively well made. Catchy. I just didn't like it. I said it was boring because I wanted a banger and they brought out some like super emo stuff. And okay, whatever. It might go with the album really well, but as the first song, I was pretty bummed out to hear that. And this kid had the gall to go, you gotta respect them for what they've done for punk rock. What have you done? Who are you? And I was like, oh my God, dude, I've never been offended by a comment like that. I was like, who am I, bro? I shouldn't have to tell you all this, but I just started listing my credentials, bro. I was like, what do you mean, who am I?
Yeah, but also you have no idea who that person is. That could be like a 17-year-old.
Oh, no, it's almost certain. No. It's definitely like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, man. So that person's like context for living is like nothing, you know.
I got all of my feels because I was like, bro, what? Like, who am I? Like, I don't know. I mean, but I did specifically say like, it doesn't make me important, but I've done as much as Blink-182 has for punk. Good grief, dude. Those dudes aren't even a punk band. Like, but I mean, I guess that kind of leans into the gatekeepery convo. I did feel some kind of way about that comment, bro. I was like,
but I mean, like,
I was like, dang, bro, you don't even know me, man. What did I do to you?
No. I mean, I wasn't talking about you. This is just
no.
Generic,
that's what I said to the kid. I was like, bro, what do you mean? You don't even know me, dude. Not you, the kid. The little 14-year-old troll.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's also something about like the other thing that happens, which the positive side of like getting into punk when you're super young is that I like can still remember being that age and being super young and like how it felt. And when I see young bands and like, especially when I hear young kids bitch about like fucking older dudes at shows or whatever, it's like funny to me. Whereas like, I know other guys, like most of my friends are a few years older than me. So like I'm 36 and like most of the other like skinhead guys that I'm friends with that like hang out in Chicago are like mid 40s ish. So maybe I hope I don't turn out like this. But when young kids bitch, they'll like legitimately get like, well, we saw the cool fucking bands and we've seen blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, they're kids. You could just remember that they're kids, you know? And so like when a fucking kid bitches about Blink-182, I'm just like, oh man, you don't fucking know anything. And like, but that's great because that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's your function right now. You know? And that sounds so condescending. I'm sorry if you're younger and you're seeing this. But it's just,
dude. But it's all condescending, and they're condescending to us, and we're condescending to them. It's a generational gap. It's always going to exist. It'll never stop.
Yeah, for sure. I like being the older person that like recognizes just like, oh man, yeah, like you're lashing out at this because like this is what you do because you're younger and that's cool. Instead of being like reacting to it with just like fuck off, you don't know anything. It's just like, okay, whatever, dude, that's great. You're like you're playing the part that you're supposed to play right now.
Yeah. You know? I think I just felt like if this kid had been some 14-year-old kid and I was doing a video on Discharge and I was like, yeah, I don't like this song. And they were like, bro, what are you talking about? This band did this, and this. But it's some kid who probably has never been to a show, probably won't ever go to one. He's talking about Blink-182 as if they're actually punk rock. And I just felt like personally attacked because I was like, bro, you don't even like, not that it makes me special, but I am part of an active scene of people that does do things. And I mean, hell, I have a whole channel devoted to it. Like, what are you doing? I would love to talk to one of these kids, and I'm not in like not like a cynical way. Like, hey, so
or
what
like
is
an
it
intimidating way? Yeah.
No, like just like, hey, what is it that you want to accomplish with things like that? I just want to know what they mean by that, because like I think a lot of them genuinely don't know what they're talking about. They just don't. So they're gonna feel like, oh, I didn't.
And that's like fundamentally,
yeah. But and there's got to be a certain amount of them that would just laugh in your face and go, "Oh, I was just trying to make you mad," and you're like, "Oh, damn, you got me!" Like,
yeah. That's the other really important part. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a dude. I have no. I am good with me, bro. I have no qualms with the fact that I talk too much. I get in my feels sometimes because I know who I am. I'm a good dude, and I know that. So like, I am okay with the fact that I am. I would say, occasionally, maybe even like often, pretty corny, dude. Like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I love this shit. It's never gonna stop, man.
It's good to reach that level of comfort with yourself.
You have to, man. When you're in the public eye, like I'm doing YouTube. I do videos every day. I get so many people get mad at me for things that they don't understand that I'm saying. Like, they don't want to listen. And like, I'll use that same video as an example. I got roasted because everybody was mad because I said the song was boring, but I also said the song was objectively well made. So people don't want to listen. And so I have to be okay with my flaws. Because if I'm not, I need to get the hell off this platform because it'll make me miserable. And it took me a while to be okay with that. Like, I'm doing it like a year and a half, 2 years. There was days where I would fight with people in the comments for hours. And my wife was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, dude, fuck them, man. They don't have the right to talk to me like that. And she's like, they don't care. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It took a long time.
Why do you care? Yeah.
Well, it's like, why do I care? It was an insecurity. It was insecurity, man. And so like now I might bicker back and forth, but I'm usually laughing and showing my friends screenshots. Like, dude, check this guy out. It's not like an insecurity thing. I might say something back and forth, or I'll like answer a question, or I'll respond with a question, versus being like all pissed off and going, "Oh, you don't know what the hell you're talking about." So it definitely, the internet is a wild thing, dude. Like I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. I've been using it for a long time. It still irritates me a lot.
Yeah.
But it's so useful. The pendulum swings both ways. It always will on every facet. So like, that includes the internet. There is positive and negative. I want to learn more about stuff from your past, man. So when you were young, you said you got into skinhead lifestyle at like 14.
Yeah.
So So what was it that led you to skinhead versus like punk rock? Because that at that age, that is a different. Because I remember having like skins and punks in my school. We didn't really get along until we were like in our 20s.
Yeah. I got into punk when I was. I mean, I got into punk through like Green Day when I was like a tiny little kid, you know. But I did like that's like way far removed from me like at 14, 15 going to like DIY shows, you know. That was just like my introduction to like loud music.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's hard for me to really think about what attracted me to fucking skinhead shit at that time. I was definitely not into Oi. I was into hardcore. So I mean, like
Okay.
Agnostic Front, like Negative Approach, Effigies, like that was like
I
where
mean,
I was at.
Let's go.
Yeah, and like, but like Agnostic Front, like they were skinheads, and like I think that was like the first band that was like, I love this, and like I love that they're skinheads. You know what I mean? And like kind of got into like a ideology or whatever through that more than Oi music.
Okay.
Man, it was a few years until I got into Oi. Really, I was about like 18 or 19 before I like somebody kind of turned me on to Oi that I was into. You know?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like, dude, I think that when I was in junior high, I met a couple like punk dudes. They were like the first like punks I ever met. So I was in like 6th grade. How old are you in 6th grade? You're like 12.
Like yeah, 12 maybe. 11,
Yeah, and
12,
so
12.
and they were like 8th grade. So they were like 14, like 13 or 14, whatever. And
Okay.
like they were fucking assholes, man. They were like fucking total snob, just like dicks.
That is exactly what happened to me in Skinheads. Because I can tell you,
really?
I was very close to being in that group because, like, when I was younger, I didn't know the difference between Rancid, Agnostic Front, Sick of It All, H2O. To me, it was all the same shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Pennywise, No Effects. To me, they were all the same music. I got an Agnostic Front tattoo when I was like 18. Had no idea that this wasn't a punk band, bro. Like I had no idea. And so
I'll show you my Agnostic Front tattoo.
Yeah, I was trying to look at it. My camera's to like the left of my screen, so I'm like always trying to like but like I could have easily gone that path because it makes sense. I mean, I can see us, I can look back and go, oh, if I had just, zigged here instead of zagged, I would have been boots and braces instead of street punk. I think it was like I think when I was a kid and I was getting into it, it was very much an aesthetic thing because I was I was a nerd. I was a bullied kid. People picked on me, beat the shit out of me. And so like I got to where I was fighting back and it just looked cooler to me to have the patched up clothes and the mohawk and like the earrings and shit versus the clean cut look of like the skinheads that I was around. They were all, dude, even in like high school, they were super sharp, man. They were looking nice, dude, dressing real good.
And dude, I mean, that's how I looked when I was a kid. I mean, I look like this now because I'm a fucking dad. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
I feel you on that.
But
I feel you.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, dude, I'd fucking save up money for months to fucking buy a Ben Sherman that you had to order back then,
Right.
Well, sure, I mean, you have to now. I'm sure it's just easier.
It's just easier.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gatekeeping again. I'm being an asshole.
No, bro, dude, you were being anything but an asshole, dude. This is the most fun I've had in a long time talking to somebody I did cool, especially that I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it was like I definitely was like into the look, I liked the very clean cut, and I
anybody
think
that tells you that they don't do this shit for some kind of fashion is so full of crap. Because I still, at this age, sew patches on my hoodies because it looks awesome. Like,
yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I don't dress like that. Like, I don't mostly hang out with people that look like that because most of my friends are my age or older,
Right.
But like, dude, when you see a photo of like, skins in fucking 1981, like decked out, it's just like, yeah, that's like the coolest look anybody's ever come up with.
It really is. And the skin birds, dude, and like the street punk kids with their hair all just like the mohawks, like they're like, or like the dudes with the charged hair. You're like, how they even do that? It looks so badass. And you're like, those are the guys. Like, I love the fact that right now it's starting to become like another iteration of punk rock was not supposed to be safe. Like, it's not a safe place. Stop coming here for safety. It is a place where we get out and we let out our aggression. Same with hardcore and Oi. It's all the same shit. You got the same people, the same anger, the same problems. This isn't a safe space. We are a kind people. But when you're in that club and if you get clocked in the head, you can't be crying about it. It's just part of it's part of it. It exists it's a weird thing, man. You go in there to release that stuff.
Yeah,
and people want it to be a safe place. That's what they want now. They want all of it to be same with like metal and stuff. I don't get it. I'm like, how do you? And it's becoming dangerous again a little bit. And I don't want people to go in and get like stabbed up or nothing like that. But like, dude, you're supposed to go to a hardcore show and be like, man, do I really want to get out there and get fucked up? Like, not really. I'm gonna try anyways. I've had my nose broken at like 4 different hardcore shows, dude. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, that's part of it. And
yeah. I mean, I don't really know what hardcore shows are like right now in terms of like the more like capital H hardcore stuff. I haven't been to a show like that in a long time. So I don't know if those shows are like, do people still dance super hard at those things now? Or like,
it depends on the band.
Really, I mean, but it's also like, I don't know, man. It's like a hard thing to explain, like, because when I hear terms like safe space, I think more in terms of like, well, yeah, hardcore is a safe space in terms of like, you can be the person that you want to be, but then you're also like, but like, my thing is like, if you're into hardcore, especially like if we want to get on the level where like kind of hardcore and certain subgenres of hardcore are getting right now with like gender politics and everything, which like I fully support, but it's like in terms of like, well, if you want to be able to like go in and demand a safe space where it's just like, but I get to like put my fist up like this, you also got to understand everybody else gets to put their fist up like this, which means you either make room for that or you just are okay with getting hit in the head sometimes. And then you got to be like, hey, it's cool. You're not treating me as an inhuman person. You're just fucking weird as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's like, I don't think that, do people really want like hardcore to be like a physically safe space?
Dude, I think they kind of do. It's because
that's disappointing. That does upset me.
And that's what I was talking about, because people it's because hardcore got so popular, it was becoming a mainstream thing. Mainstream normal people don't have any idea what it's like to get into a fist fight. Like they just don't. And when you go to a hardcore show, at least in my experiences, that's generally what you're doing. You either get into a fight or you're getting into a fight by getting into the pit and dancing hard. And like, I don't particularly listen to the band Drain, but I love watching that band live, dude.
I don't even know who that is, man.
Bro, just go YouTube some of that shit, man. They're from California, and their shows go off, dude. These dudes, yes, they are dancing hard. They're, dude, stage diving by like the dozens of people just flying up.
Sure.
It looks so like, I think it's a young person thing. At 41, I ain't doing that shit, man. I don't think you could pay me to stage dive right now, but I still remember doing it. I'm like, that was so much fun. I remember hitting a rafter at a municipal waste show because these assholes put springboards on the stage, and we were just like bouncing like 3x times what we should have been doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, bro. But people don't want that around anymore. Oh, you can't do this. You can't stage dive. Hey, that's not cool hardcore etiquette to go do a can opener. Fuck off.
Man,
it's not.
I mean, I think that's probably not most people. I mean, like you said, like you were watching a show where people were stage diving,
Yeah, no, like, but if you just pay attention to like the conversation being had.
Yeah, well, but like again though, but like, is that on the internet or is that like people actually?
Some of it is, some of it's not. Okay. Some of it is, some of it's not. So you do have to take it with a grain of salt, I guess. It's just a weird dynamic that you would go to a place like that and want to be, oh, like, I fucking hate that dudes go and do spin kicks. It's like, well, bro, then don't go to a place where that's the norm. Like,
right. Well, it's also, I mean, like, dude, I have been at shows where people had a problem with people doing spin kicks and they beat the shit out of the guy doing spin kicks. So there's also something to be said for like being the more gnarly person in that altercation.
Yeah.
And then like what side are you on when you're the bystander that doesn't want violence at all? Like, do you hate the person that did the spin kicks, or do you hate the fucking dude who punched the guy doing spin kicks in the face?
There's really no scenario where people are just going to be pleased, I guess, like all like across the board. Like, and I mean that myself included. Like, am I am I getting defensive about something that I shouldn't even get defensive about? Probably. Like,
yeah. I mean, just because I guess with hardcore, especially because like, dude, I like my love for hardcore was between like the ages of 14 and 25. If you were like, what are you into? I'd be like, I'm into hardcore. It's like, oh, that's cool. Are you into like fucking cars? Like, no, I'm into hardcore. You know what I mean? Like, you like movies?
Yeah.
No, I like fucking hardcore, man.
Dude,
Like,
that's exactly.
yeah, like that was literally like my entire life was hardcore music.
Dude, I so understand that. I so get it. I mean, one of my favorite memories that I'll tell about this, I'll tell people this until the day I'm dead, is that I was asleep on my couch when I was like 22 years old, and I was living with a band, and I was sleeping, and White Trash Rob from Blood for Blood woke me up, pouring beer on my head, talking about, Randy, get up, let's go outside and drink. And I was like, I gotta go to work tomorrow. And he was like, pussy, and smacked me. Like that, like I was in, that's all I was into. I showed up to work.
Yeah. And at that time in your life, you're just like, well, this is hardcore.
Yeah, like that's all I did was listen to music, play music, talk about music, write music, go to see live music. That's all I cared about. Made shirts, made flyers, flyer to city of Houston. That's all we did. That's all we did.
But my point with bringing that up is like, because it was so intense for me as a kid, like now at my age as a grown up, dude, like when I see, and I also was like involved in all the fucking maximum rock and roll style conversations about like how we should be furthering punk and our politics should be more progressive. And like, I was really trying to like learn or whatever. Which, I mean, I'm dismissive of it now, but it was a positive influence in my life. But like, when I
you really thought you were doing some good. You really believed.
Well, in a lot of ways, I was. You know, I mean, like,
no, for sure.
I'm glad that I learned about anti-fascism and feminism when I was a kid, because it's legitimately helped me interact with people in a more positive way in my life. You know, and like the little bit of political power that I have, I get to wield for a little bit better. You know, but like, kids now are having conversations that they were not having when we were kids. And like, there are larger conversations about, like I brought up earlier, about like gender identity that didn't fucking get brought up when we were kids. And
they probably would have gotten picked on or something, which is
right.
Which sucks.
Like, yeah, for sure. And like, but now that's like a part of the conversation. And like, we never thought about disabled kids, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's just like all of these other things that younger kids think about, where like and it's unfortunate in some ways, because I think that there's like a neuroses in having to think about like every tiny little detail, but they are like, I think it comes from a good place.
I agree.
But it's also like, there is a point where you just got to go like, dude, that's like the kids' table. And the kids are at the table having the kids' table conversation. Right. And like, who the fuck gives a shit? Because what are they going to do to you? Like, if you go to the show and they're all bitching, like, you as the adult can just be like, whatever, you're a moron. And then you just go to the bar, or you're sober.
Right.
So you go outside, you know, and then like, whatever, it doesn't affect
that's
you.
That's the generation gap again. It's a blurry line, but it's there. And I think a lot of the stuff that's positive now is also one of the positive things about the internet. I was just saying the internet kind of sucks sometimes. Well, one of the better things about it is that these kids from these smaller groups of people now have a place to go and find like-minded people to talk to organize things, and then also to teach people like me who don't necessarily understand all of that. If I was born in 1998 instead of 1982, maybe I'd have a different outlook on some things. But I am open-minded. I'm very cool with learning stuff. I'm good with changing my behaviors if I need to, my language. I mean, dude, come on. Did we not all use the word get back in the day? We all did. I don't do it anymore. It bothers me now. It didn't used to bother me in high school. So there is something for that. I think that, and anybody that wants to say like, oh, they're just old, they've been like that forever, they don't need to change, that's a cop-out, because I just gave you an example of how I changed. And that was
that's actually a really fucking great example of like a word that was so commonplace when I was in junior high that I literally cannot remember the last time I remember somebody saying it out loud. Outside of like a violent, it's like a word that got like bred out of our culture in a good way.
No, in a very good way. Like I remember one of the early stages of that being like a thing was like, because like, do you remember that shirt that used to say "Police Your Scene"? And I don't remember whose band it was, dude. It was a it was a hugely popular shirt down here, and it just said "Police Your Scene," and we took that shit seriously, man. If you were in our area and you were doing some stuff that we deemed unacceptable, you were getting taken out physically. We were going to beat the shit out of you and drag you outside and leave you outside. And I remember, gosh, man, I can't remember who it was, but there was a dude that was kind of like low-key gay. He didn't really advertise his personal life much, but he was one of the homies, right? And another one of the homies was drinking a bunch and, oh, F this and F that. But he wasn't really being like mean about it, but it was a completely insensitive thing to do around this guy. And I remember, like, I can remember that being like the moment where I think it switched for me. And I was like, oh man, you can't make people feel like this, dude. Like, you could see the guy being like ashamed of himself. And I'm like, no, you're not the one that should be ashamed. It's this idiot. And and I think that is like the moment that my brain switched. But I remember seeing that and thinking like, oh, this is a good thing, man. Like, this is, and here's the thing. You don't have to agree with everything for it to still be a good thing. You could still go, I like 98% of that, but it's still a good thing because being considerate is a good thing. I don't know. Yeah, bro, we could get into a very long conversation about this stuff because I think a lot of cultures don't have that. A lot of cultures don't have that. Country music, I think hip hop, those are very, what's the word, man? Like, there's still plenty of great stuff to come out of both of those things, but there's a lot of upsetting language, I guess I'd say. Like, just stuff that you know.
My kid's real into like the new rap scene, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of it. Like,
any artists that you can think of that
I mean, like the big one who's into like Tyler the Creator and Kendrick Lamar. Man, I don't want to say some of them because I don't like some of them, and he watches it. I don't want to slam them. You know, we're gonna go see Lil Uzi Vert, which is fucking cool. We go to shows together.
See, that's one that I don't like. I don't like that guy. He sucks.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, that dude's terrible.
Okay.
But I mean,
what don't you like about it?
I just don't like. I don't like anything about it. I don't like his clothes. I don't like his music. I don't like his style. I don't like his stupid dancing. My other channel is all about that kind of music. I like Lil Peep.
Sure.
I like Juice WRLD. I like Suicide Boys. I like City Morgue. I don't know what it is about Uzi I don't like. And I mean, whatever. The dude's out there killing it, man. Good for him. I'm glad he's making all that money. I'm not a hater. I just don't like his music.
Dude, I think he's playing like Soldier Field, man.
That's crazy.
I gotta check the tickets, but I think I was like blown away when I checked because
that is pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, more power to him. Like, I'm not tripping on the dude. I just don't like his music. But yeah, I mean, there is a little bit to be like, people are always surprised that I'll be reviewing a Juice WRLD song and I give it like a lot of praise. I really like Juice WRLD's music. And people are like, that's kind of crazy that you're 40 and you like that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, I'm 41 and I like this stuff, bro. I'm old, dude. Like, I like it because I've always liked counterculture stuff. Like, I always have. It is in my blood. But I'm also from Houston, so like, a little bit of rap is just in my DNA, man. I got a Pimp C tattoo on my leg, bro. Like, it just is what it is, man. This is a very hip hop city. There's every bit of hardcore I've ever been involved with has had a hip hop like undertone to it. You know, but the kids need some stuff that we don't like. I think the kids need something that the adults don't like.
Dude, exactly. That's like kind of what I was trying to say before about like the kids.
They need
table.
How else are you gonna rebel if we like all the shit you like?
Exactly, man. And I mean, like that. Whatever. Our parents said the same shit. You know, like
The trick is that I'm okay being the adult and being like, these damn kids. And it tricks the kids to be like, this guy's hilarious, bro. He knows he's a curmudgeonly old fart. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, man. You can't win them all, but I'll try.
I'm totally fine just being the guy that's just like, dude, who fucking cares? Which I think my son just fucking hates. Because he like gets so mad. He like,
wants you to hate his music more.
Oh man, yeah, dude. Like we went to go see like the first show we saw together was Playboy Cardi. And he like tried to pick a fight with me after the show, like on the L train. Like, oh, well, you just seemed like disappointed. And I'm just like, no, man, I'm just tired. Like,
you're like, I'm older than you, man. I don't
exactly. I'm just like, dude, it's fucking late. It's Tuesday, dude. Like, I'm so stoked you had a good time. He's just like, it just seems like you thought it sucked because I loved it. And I'm like, dude, I loved that you.
Oh, he was trying to pick a fight.
Yeah, he was hilarious. Like definitely trying to be like fuck you, you don't get it.
So just out of my own morbid curiosities. What are a couple of the artists that your kiddo likes that you don't care for? Because my kids are only 10, 9, and 3, so they're not even there yet.
Oh man, dude.
What are some of the? Who is it?
Babytron.
Is he from California?
No, he's from Michigan, man. The dude fucking is awful. It's the worst shit in the world.
I'm gonna look his face up because I might know who this is.
Nah, he's from Ypsilanti, like outside of Detroit. We saw.
Oh yeah, long-haired kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Long hair guy. Yeah.
Dude,
he raps about like Star Wars and shit.
Bro,
it's fucking so bad.
Did he do one with that Jewish kid?
What's I don't have my phone, man.
Kosher. What is it? BLP Kosher.
That sounds kid is very familiar.
Okay, so Babytron. It's like I like the way he enunciates, but his bars are garbage, dude. Like he doesn't have anything to say. BLP Kosher, though, I like that kid, bro. He's fire, dude. Okay. Man, it's so funny we're talking about this right now because it so crosses both of my channels so well.
Yeah, well, it's also funny because, like, dude, I don't know anything about fucking like modern rap music except for what my kid tells me.
I only because of my channel, dude. I wouldn't if it wasn't for this, but I kind of appreciate it because I've gotten some artists that I really love because of that channel. So I'm glad I did it. What are a couple other ones? Because I was a little surprised to hear you say Babytron. That's a deep cut for me.
Oh yeah. Man, I can't think of anybody else that I just like really didn't fucking like.
That's actually a good thing though.
Yeah. Man, I was not super into Kid Cudi. We saw him.
Dude, he's so hit or miss for me, dude. Although he just did a song with somebody. Lil Durk just did a song with Kid Cudi. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, Lil Durk shouldn't have been on this. It was not really his style of stuff. Kid Cudi did a really good job, but he's very hit or miss for me, man.
It's also like, dude, I found that like I can put him on if I'm like doing shit around the house and I legitimately enjoy it. But like just watching him live was not like the same songs just in a live setting. Just I was fucking bored out of my mind.
Dude, some of that stuff ain't really made for live settings though. Some of it's made strictly for like bumping it in the house, like you said. Doing some dishes, getting down, just like dancing around, cleaning up the house, and listening to some good music. Some of these guys just don't perform as well. Some people I think are meant like like Lil Yachty. I'm not a big fan of his stuff on record.
We're seeing Lil Yachty in like 2 months.
Yeah, I bet he's gonna put on a great show. Mm-hmm. So like Drake, I don't really like Drake, but I think his shows would be kind of fun. The dude likes to get down, bro. Like he likes to party. Plus, there's ladies everywhere. So if you're single, you got something to look at. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know. But yeah, man, hip hop's in a weird place right now. It's not even in a weird place. It's just different. We're older. I mean, like punk rock and oi, it never really changes. It just sounds kind of like it sounds. This is why CMI.
Man, I think it does change. Really? And I think that it changes. Well, yeah, man. Well, first off, I want to bring up one dude that we saw, which was Vince Staples.
I know that name, but I don't know that I know any of his music.
Dude, he did that fucking like North song.
I don't know what that is. What?
Oh man, it's really fucking good. I gotta double Google that.
I am right now.
He opened for Tyler the Creator.
Tyler's dope. Okay, I see North on YouTube. I'm gonna have to go look at that later.
Vince Staples, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he was so fucking sick. It was
really
so good. Dude, that dope. Guy was like, his breath control is like insane, man. That guy must run 30 miles a day. It's wild.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
The fact that you can pick that out is pretty awesome though. Like,
dude, I mean, that guy, like, we saw Playboy Cardi, and Playboy Cardi was fucking terrible. He just like didn't give a shit. He was fucked up. You know what I mean? He was yelling, whatever. And literally, so like we saw him, and the next person we saw together was Vince Staples. He like opened the next show we were at, and like, dude, I didn't say it because you don't want to be a dick to your kid, you know. But like, I wanted to be like, dude, you just saw somebody just like clearly not give a shit, and now you're seeing a dude that like works so fucking hard to do what he's doing, you know, awesome. And he's like killing it because of it. Like, dude, it was like not even the same thing, you know.
Yeah, but you need to be able to see the difference in that, because you need to be able to pick out the people that you should appreciate. Because, well, I personally think that those are the people that you need to put your money into. If you want to buy a record, you buy that dude's record because he deserves it. And you know, if all you're doing is hearing these songs, you don't really know who's putting in the effort and who's not. I mean, sometimes you can. Like Lil Wayne clearly putting in the effort. That dude's been going strong for like 30 years. That's different. But you know, you don't really know what these guys are all about until you go see them live. I am very curious on your take of punk and oi and stuff changing. I would love some examples.
Oh, man, I mean, because, dude, all right, you want to start with oi?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I know less about oi, so I'm more or less gonna sit here and go, okay, punk. We might argue about it, but like, my thought process is this: good oi music, good punk music, and good hardcore music. When it comes around, it's good because it's the same kind of good as it was 20 years ago. Like, there's not a lot of innovation in those genres right now, and if there is, it just pokes its head out and then it goes right back in. An example would be like dark wave in the oi scene specifically. Listen to Bullshit Detector. But is that something that I can say is wholly original? I don't know. There's less of it than there was of other things, I guess, but like, it still sounds like oi, and it's still the same kind of song structure. It just sounds a little different, but it's the same structure. It's the same kind of vocals. It's the same lyrical content. That was my point. It wasn't necessarily that it's a negative thing. It's just that I think with hip hop, there's so much more room for innovation because there is no lines there. There is a line with punk, there is a line with hardcore, and there is a line with oi. People can say there isn't all they want, but that's just not true. There is. There's a definition, and it is what it is. But with hip hop, you can do stuff like NWA, you could do stuff like Bone Thugs and Harmony, and you could do stuff like Babytron, BLP Kosher. That's all hip hop. So, but hip hop heads will tell you otherwise. They go, "Oh yeah, but that's backpack rap. That's this. That's this." So
that's what I was gonna say, man. Is like, it's real hard to compare hip hop music to punk because punk, like, I get that punk is its own thing, but punk comes from rock and roll. Like, we already had 30 years of fucking backstory with rock and roll music to make punk like what it was, and we're like just a bigger part of this like thing tapering off, right? Hip hop like started on its own. It does have like roots in other things, but like it was the monolith, and then everything else is tapering off into it. Because like, dude, backpack hip hop is not the same thing as fucking gangster rap. Like, it's legitimately not the same thing. And it's not the same thing in the same way that fucking the Ramones are not the same thing as Phil Oakes. You know what I mean?
So I guess that's the thing is like, it depends on what you're a fan of, because since I like hip hop, but I'm not like a hip hop head, like I would consider myself like a Southern hip hop head because I know a lot more about that stuff. I come from that. But as far as like hip hop in general, that's like somebody telling me that NoFX and Tragedy are the same kind of music. So I totally understand what you're saying, because I would go, nah, dude, like that's D-beat and that's skate punk. Like those are very different. And they would go, it's all punk rock. And I'd be like, what? You know, like,
right, exactly. But that's like because you're in that stream of consciousness of being able to separate punk into all this other shit. And like, hip hop is rock and roll, which is the larger thing that's now being split off. We were like, it's like the new era of fucking popular music. It's more popular than rock and roll.
Oh, dude, no, hip hop is what's weird. Like the last year, there's been a big country music revival, but for like the last 15 to 20, it's been mostly hip hop centric music that has been the popular stuff. The entire movie culture, sports, it's all hip hop based. Hell, dude, look at hardcore. Like even hardcore is hip hop infused, you know. So I love hip hop, but I'm very picky with it because there's so much to choose from. So I get to be picky with it. There's a lot of punk to choose from too. I think I'm probably just picky with music in general, which is why I love talking to musicians, because if I reach out, you can be damn sure that I like your music, because that's why I would reach out. Like, I really enjoy the music that you're putting out, man. I think it's great. I'm so shocked by what you told me about it that it threw me off of like, I had like some stuff in my head I was going to ask you. I don't even remember what it was because I was so surprised when you tell me like, oh yeah, we don't even do like live shows. I was like, what is happening? What is some of the stuff that your kiddo wants to see the most live? Is there somebody out there that he's like, I gotta see this dude when he comes around?
Kid Cudi, he was stoked on for a long time, and then we got to see him. And then Lil Uzi Vert, he really likes.
Okay.
So it's like two of them he's gotten to
Nice.
off the list.
Dude, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah. He tends to get into like, I mean, he's into like a lot of different things. Obviously, he's like into music, but he will get like really into one like artist for a while, it seems.
Yeah, I think a lot of youngsters do that. I find that out just by doing my channel, man. I have kids that tell me that all they listen to all day, every day is Lil Peep. I love Lil Peep, dude. Ain't
like
no way.
Day, yeah.
Ain't no, dude. My favorite band in the world is Rancid. I very rarely put them on. Like, I can't listen to the same thing all the time. Like, if I did, then I would have never gotten to your band, because that's how I got to your band, was just sifting through stuff and going, oh, cool. Who? I would love to be able to tell you what it was that got me to your band. I can't remember because it's been a little while. But I like rediscovered your music like about 2 months ago. Did you have like a song on a comp or something?
Oh yeah, well, like a couple days ago, we did a song on a Battle Scarred Records comp called Stronger.
That's what it was. That's what it was that got me like, oh yeah, I remember this band. And then that's when I hit you up. That's crazy that y'all aren't even like a touring band. That's weird that I would have found you to begin with and then rediscovered it and be like, oh, I remember this band. And then that's awesome, dude. I love stuff like that. That's the benefit of social media right there. Stuff like that.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that you dig that song, man. Thank you.
Oh, bro. I really do enjoy it. I did a whole video on it on my channel. I did like we did like a listen through. I was basically like, yo, here's a song, a band from Chicago. Let's listen to the song and I'll talk about it afterwards. And I listened to the whole song. And then we talked about what I liked about it, like the guitar tone. I liked it a lot. I liked your vocals quite a bit. And I like to like give a little bit of feedback in my videos, not just, oh, I liked it. All right, bye guys. Like, I just feel like that's so hollow. Yeah. I like to talk about the stuff that I appreciate about a song, or even if I don't like it, I'm honest. I've had to like, I've gotten some heat from some people for being like, yeah, that wasn't very good. But I always go,
why do you review songs you don't like?
Wait, what?
Why do you review songs you don't like?
Dude, 98% of the songs that I listen to, I've never heard until I listen to it on my channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of it. So like, I'm always surprised by that question. I'm like, dude, I don't know anybody that reviews stuff that just reviews things that they like. That's so crazy to me.
Well, I guess I just like, how are you hearing like the songs that you choose to review? How are you choosing them?
So there's a number of ways. There's a few channels that put out stuff that if they put it out, I'll give it a shot based solely on the fact that it came from that channel.
Okay.
But a lot of it is like my Patreon members go, hey, would you check this out for me? And I check it out. Okay. And then some stuff is like, oh, it's a new band like CMI. Let's use them as an example. I heard that band name and I was like, bro, I don't know if I can even listen to this. And I was like, that's so weak of me, dude. So I listened to it and I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I listened to this, right? But the first time I love
the description of like being too weak to even check out CMI.
Oh, bro, I was like, no, dude.
I'm sure that they would like really appreciate that description.
Oh, I told Adam that I was like, bro, I almost didn't listen to your shit because of your name. I asked him flat out, what's up with the name? And when I found out about it, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, of course that's what it is. Of course it's not something weird. It's just this thing where he figured, he liked the way it sounded. But like, but yeah, I mean, I just listen to I think it would be super weird if I was like, yeah, I review music, but I only listen to shit that I'm positive I'm gonna like. It just seems like so weak to me to do that. Like that's crazy to me, man. Like I review artwork, I review music, and I try to stick to the genre that I'm generally a fan of. But like, no, I don't. If I hear something and I know that I'm gonna trash it, unless I'm being specifically asked or paid to review it, I don't do it because I'm not here to like shit on people. But but I will be honest. I mean, look, dude, it doesn't do any musician any good at all for me to sit up here and tell you your song's good if it's not. If I'm doing it, and I'm doing it in a respectful way, there's very few times where I'm like, this is ass. Like, I think, as a matter of fact, the last time I did that was Lil Uzi Vert. That shit, I couldn't even listen to the whole album. It was so bad. But like, and even then I was like just skipping the whole song. I was like, I can't finish. I don't want to finish this because there's another dude named XXXTentacion that I don't cover on my channel because I can't be objective about it. I don't like him as a person. And so if I listen to his music, all I'm going to think about is how much I don't like him. Yeah, and that's not fair.
Get that. Yeah.
So I don't do it. So like, I don't, I guess I never really thought about it. I just review music and sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. I usually do. I like a lot of music. So usually I can find something positive to pull out of it. But Yeah, it's or like if a band that I really like's got something coming out and I have to I always review it. Sometimes they don't drop a good album, and it is what it is, man. But that's the one thing that I'm finding more and more. Okay, how do I navigate these waters? Because how do I review your song, give it like a mid grade, and then go, hey, would you like to do an interview? Because even though they should say yes to that and let me ask them some questions about it, I've got pride, I've got feelings. I don't know that I could say yes to that. So it is difficult, especially when I'm taking this very seriously. I'm having fun, but I'm taking it serious, man. This is I'm hoping to make this my job in the next couple of years, So what are your short-term goals with the band?
We got a couple shows coming up in November. We're playing with the Anti-Heroes and we're playing with Claim Choice. So we're like practicing to do that right now. We are almost finished recording an LP.
Okay.
We should be done within the week, hopefully. We've like narrowed it down from a whole bunch of songs to 10 songs to then finishing 10 songs.
That's amazing.
So yeah, we're doing that, and then we're like hanging out, jamming more songs. So it's kind of where we're at.
With the LP, is it going to be a digital release or what are you doing with it?
I have no idea, man. It's like I said, it'll be a couple weeks until we finish it, and then it's going to take like a month to get it mixed and everything, and then we're going to figure out like what we want to do with it. But it just, I mean, I don't know if like anybody wants to put it out. I really don't have like the energy to put out a record these days, more so because it's just like, dude, I used to run a fucking record label. You know what that's like? Like packing 500 copies of a record is just.
I can tell you, I absolutely know what that's like. As soon as we're done here, I got to go listen to one of my test tapes to make sure it's good, to tell them to go ahead and put it in production. So yeah. I just like doing it.
Yeah, dude, I hated doing it. Like I liked certain aspects of the label. I fucking hated mailing records so much.
Oh no,
it's not fair. Dude, it's not fair to the fucking people that order records from me. Yeah. I'm sorry, every person that had to wait 6 months to get a record from me. I just fucking hated it. That's why I don't run a record label anymore.
That's the worst part. I don't mind doing it, but I definitely would love to have somebody else do it. I mean, for sure. I like all the other stuff. I like the interviewing the bands. I like the promo. I like the design work. I do all the layouts over here too. I do pretty much everything. I do all the layouts. I do all the ordering. I'd set up my own BANDCAMP. It's a lot of work, but I'm a detail-oriented guy, and I also have a lot of trouble handing over like responsibilities to people because I don't trust people to do it right. Because I'm like, no, this is my project. Why would you care more than I care? So if you don't care as much as I care, then I need to be the one to do it. Because if I don't do it, there won't be as much put into it. If it's a mistake, I want to be the one that makes it. Stuff like that. So I generally end up just doing it all by myself, making it harder on me. When I got friends that would help, I'm sure. So, but that's awesome, dude. Well, shoot, dude, if you ever want tapes put out, I know it's not vinyl, but if you want tapes, I don't even have to hear it. I can tell you I'll put it out.
Thanks, man.
I just like helping people out, man. It's based on what I've heard of your music, I would be shocked if it sucks. So keep that in mind. If you ever want some help, I'll do that for you. No problem. That's awesome. Do you guys want to eventually try to make a tour happen or something? Or are you really not thinking about that at all right now?
I mean, our plan when we did the show that we did was to see if it was cool and we had a good time.
For sure.
And then like decide if we wanted to play more. And it was fun. It was like a lot of fun. So we decided that we wanted to keep hanging out and jamming. So we're going to do this. I think we have 3 shows, and then it's kind of the same thing. We're just like all seeing what we want to do, and like if we do these shows and it's cool, then we'll probably try to play out of town. But it's also just like we're like older folks, you know what I mean? Like, and none of us are like, I don't know. It's like hard when you get to this point because it's like you're never gonna fucking make money, and it's like you gotta pay your fucking rent, unfortunately. And so it's just like you gotta like really decide if like being in this band is like, it's fun, it's cool, I like recording stuff, but like, is it fun to like go do a weekend to like lose money and the shows aren't that much fun, and you know what I mean? So it's gotta be one of those things of just like, yeah, I want to go play a city where like if I lose $200, at least I like got to play with bands I wanted to play with and like see bands I wanted to see that I wouldn't get to see in Chicago because they can't fly out here because it's like we're all in the same spot. Like I'm mostly into bands that are other fucking dudes in their mid 30s to late 40s. So like we all can't fly around for shows. So it's like, yeah, if I want to go to Boston, I want to see fucking Burden, you know, like I want to see the band that can't fucking go tour.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking is like, if you look at it like a hobby, hobbies aren't cheap. They're not free. So it's like, okay, well, it's a hobby. So can you do a couple of weekends every few months? Probably. But if you're trying to do every weekend, you have got to be seeing some kind of return for that or else. So, I mean, if you got like a big table full of merch and some kind of physical media of whatever people want, and then, you know, a decent door number coming in, okay, that becomes worth it. But that also takes time and money and energy. So I do like, as much as I'd love for you to come down to Houston next month and play a show down here, that'd be amazing. I do like that you're doing it the way you guys have decided to do things, because I feel like it'll ultimately help you guys out, help the band. And I think that's,
well, it keeps us from ever being disappointed in anything.
That's kind of what I meant.
If nothing else, you know?
Well, you know, because like at least this way, if you do end up making it down into Texas, it's like, oh, well, that's clearly working out then. And that just is a better scenario. Like, why would I want you guys to stress out? And you got to come down here to please me and my friends. I want you to go into debt to come and play Houston. Like, that's such a bullshit way of looking at things. But
for sure,
you know, that's awesome though, man. I hope you guys do whatever it is that you want to do. That's ultimately what I want for everybody, right? So,
well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, this has been a lot of fun, man. That time flew right by, man. I probably talked more than I should have, but like, I had so much fun talking with you, dude.
Cool, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good to meet you, man.
Absolutely. Likewise. Well, open invitation. Come back anytime. If you got some new music dropping, let me know. I'll try to keep my ear to the ground. And when the LP's done, I would at least like to have you back on to talk about it. Maybe hear some songs or something at some point. But yeah, dude, open offer if you ever need tapes or anything like that. Maybe one day I'll get into vinyl, but right now I don't have the money to, so I do what I can. But yeah, if you ever need any of my services, let me know. Thank you so much for hanging out, Ian. I appreciate it. Before we go, is there any other bands from your area, maybe lesser known bands that you would like to shout out? Anybody you want to put out there, even a bigger band, it don't matter. Anybody you want to shout out?
Man, there's a bunch of cool bands from Chicago. Degenerate Synapse, Consensus Madness, or like an awesome, like kind of like Killed by Death style band.
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
Dude, they just did a 7-inch on Iron Lung. It's fucking really cool.
Okay.
Stress Positions also just did an LP on Iron Lung. Those folks used to be in a band called Chew that is fucking one of the coolest Chicago bands.
Chew is really good. I know Chew. That band is good.
Yeah. So Stress Positions is the same lineup as Chew with a different singer. But it's not, it doesn't sound like Chew. It's way heavier.
No, that's cool though. I'm writing that down. You said Stressed Positions?
Yeah. What
was that band you talked about earlier that you did some stuff with a guy who's like, it was in Portuguese?
Oh, Cidadao. Cidadao.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure to write that down. Oh, man, that's awesome, dude. All right, very last thing I will ask you. If we were driving down the road together and I gave you the aux cable, what are you playing first right now, today? Like, what are you jamming right now? It doesn't have to be new or old. It could be either way. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, man, the Flamin' Groovies.
The Flamin' Groovies.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, man, San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like late 60s, fucking awesome garage rock stuff. Like
that sounds like a garage rock band.
74, and then they broke up for a few years. They got back together, and then they were like a power pop band for a couple records.
Ooh, I like power pop too.
Yeah, dude, check out the Flamin' Groovies. It's sick.
Nice, bro. Yeah, I'm about to go to the Punk Rock Museum in a couple of weeks in Vegas, and I'm gonna get a tour through there with the Blue Intruder guy from Masked Intruder. That is a good power pop band. Dude, hell yeah, it's been a blast, man. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. If you ever need anything at all, just let me know, man. I'm here to help, dude.
Cool. Cheers, man.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Have a great day, man.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Later, bud.